What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. My name is G.
I'm Javon.
And this
is
Console Babble. It's been a minute, man.
Yes. Yes, it has.
You know when was the last time you were here?
Last year? No, I don't know.
When we tasted the
Wampa fruit?
The Wampa fruit.
Ah.
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Feels like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feels like forever.
By the way, I bought 2 more of those. And I'm going to give you one just to keep as like a collector's item.
Oh, okay.
Or as, just something to have in your house or something.
That would be cool.
One to drink and one to keep. Well, I already gave you the one you're drinking.
Why? There's a saying for that. I think it's one to rock and one to stock or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sounds like it goes for like sneakers or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into our game of the week. Glad to have you back.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
All right, games of the week. Monday, which is today. This game is out now as we speak. Power Wash Simulator. Now, this one is a special one for me. I don't know if you know, but I used to do power washing.
I did know that.
Yeah, my dad used to want to drag me with him. When I was, that was me standing on the roof. Except I didn't have the whole hazmat suit on. Just wore shorts and a t-shirt. And my dad would set me on the roof because I was tiny. Which I guess he thought was a good idea. Like, oh, you're little, go on the roof. But that power washer, man, it's so much force. So I used to always be afraid of falling off the roof. I mean, I used to have fun. I used to like being up there. But I would lean way into the power washer and then push it. And it would like push me back into the standing position.
Sounds like a Guardians of the Galaxy reference.
For what?
Because you said because I was small and now Yondu was like,
oh yeah,
hey, because he's small, he fits in cramped spaces. My boys always wanted to eat you. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, we used to do this, not the train, but we used to power wash like construction equipment, those cat machines. We used to power wash those things.
Oh wow.
Power wash a lot of houses. Power wash like the big like 18 wheelers. Power wash some trucks. So yeah, he kept us busy during the summer. We were his me and my brother were his employees for free. He got free labor out of us, and then he paid us in Slurpees. Slurpees at McDonald's.
Man.
Hold on, I wish my brother was alive so he could comment and add to this. Anyway, this is Power Wash Simulator. I'll play this and get all nostalgic. Let him know to join me. All right, that's all for that. I don't know who else is excited about this game. I'm not really excited about it, but
I've seen so many people play it. I think it's just like a fun game to play when you just want to have something like chill and you don't want a game that's going to stress you out.
It does seem very satisfying.
Yeah.
To like go over the lines and like
Kinda
watch
like,
everything.
Like ASMR, but video game form.
Yeah. Or those videos that are like satisfying to watch.
Yeah.
It's like someone like slicing a cake perfectly.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah. This was pretty satisfying to do in real life. The sidewalks are like the most noticeable thing. So when you power wash the sidewalk, you just like see it turning white as you like go down in perfect lines,
Restoring that nice color.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah, you get gum and oil stains, all kinds of stuff that builds up over time. Anyway, Power Wash Simulator, that's out today. What is this? Go ahead. This is your... Oh, by the way, Power Wash Simulator is going to be out for... Where can you play this game? It will be on the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and the Switch. If you got an Xbox... Oh, this game has already been out on Xbox. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, this trailer is... see, it's on the Xbox channel. And this is from 6 months ago.
Oh, never mind. No, it's releasing for PlayStation now.
Yeah, PlayStation 4, 5, and the Switch. PC Game Pass. Also.
See, Sony, look, Xbox shares. Look at that. It was a Game Pass exclusive. Now it's coming to everybody.
They share Power Wash Simulator.
Never mind. That was a bad example.
Man, they let y'all Final Fantasy.
Yeah. It's not a real trade, bro. It's not a real trade.
All right, go ahead. Introduce the next game.
All right, so next we got Trek to Yomi, which is a 2D side-scrolling, black and white, kind of like Ghost of Tsushima, but like, a little
side-scrolling.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima, if it came out for like the Super Nintendo or something.
Well,
I know it's not Super Nintendo graphics,
I was saying,
but
graphics look way better than Super Nintendo.
No, these graphics look really cool. You can play Ghost of Tsushima in black and white, can't you?
Yeah, they call it the Kurosawa mode because it's inspired by the old samurai films that he did in black and white.
Okay.
He was like the director, and that was kind of like a style that he was known for.
The director was Kurosawa?
Kurosawa. I don't know his full name, but I just know his last name is Kurosawa. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's coming to the Switch on January 30th. It already came to PlayStation and Xbox previously, so it's just coming to the Switch now.
Nice. You know what game I started playing on the Switch that just came there recently is Sifu.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get very far. I just got to the part where, like the beginning. You know the opening title where you're like beating up all these people. It's like a montage.
Oh, the credits.
The opening credits. Yeah. I just played through that part, and then I turned it off. I was at work, but yeah, I'm gonna get through that game hopefully.
Well, that's a game.
But this kind of reminds me of that.
You'll be playing that a lot.
Sifu.
As far as like,
it seems a little bit overwhelming. There was a lot of combos they taught me like back to back to back. I'm like, am I gonna remember all this?
You gonna need to. There's gonna be well, I'm gonna just put it like this: the first level in Sifu is like, it gives you that confidence boost. You're like, oh man, I can do this.
I'm whooping everybody.
Yeah. Then when you finally make it past the first level, because you're not gonna get through it without dying. But when you finally make it and you get to the second level, then they're gonna crank it up to like 200. You're gonna be like, I don't like this game no more. That's what happened to me when I played.
Oh man.
Like, man.
So you became an old man real fast.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of. I was like, okay, good. I haven't died yet. No, I haven't died. I got through the whole opening credit, all the way up to the opening credits without dying.
Well, you don't like die and get old in the credits.
Oh, before that part.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I did die a few times. I'm not sure. Anyway, this looks really cool. Very on the same theme as Sifu. Next we got Age of Empires. This is a PC game. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. This is coming out for the Xbox Series X and S, the Xbox One, and the Switch, and PC. And this is coming out on the 31st. So that is tomorrow. Well, what happened?
I Am Him said, where's my Wampa fruit drink?
So I'll send, when I give you yours, I'll send one for him too.
You heard that, I Am Him, it's coming.
Yeah. Ask and you shall receive. Oh, I Am Him. Sorry, I missed the dab. He did come in with the dab as usual. Tradition.
Golden Kid says this might as well be a humanoid Among Us.
Among Us.
He might have been talking about the first game.
Which was what? Power Watch Simulator?
Well, maybe. I don't know. Because he said that game is fire after that, which I think he was referring to Trek to Yomi. But
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Age of Empires. Yeah.
Yes, Age of Empires. I don't know who's excited about this, but if you are, it's out. It's out tomorrow. Just 24 more hours. Just hold in there. All right. Go ahead and introduce the next game.
Next we've got. Oh Lord, this is the one I was having trouble pronouncing before we started. Inclinati, something.
Inclinati.
Yeah.
Inclinati.
Inculunati. Anyway.
Inculinati.
This game is coming out January 31st. That's tomorrow as well.
Yes.
And that's coming to Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and that's it. Bar the PlayStation.
Yep. This is looks like a side-scrolling turn-based RPG.
Also looks like the graphics kind of remind me of Pentiment.
It says coming this century. It's coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Next game we got is Season, A Letter to the Future.
Oh.
This is coming out for the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 4, and PC. Now, did they show this on like a State of Play or something? I kind of remember this trailer.
I don't remember
The game. This looks familiar, right? You've seen this woman riding a bike, and I mean, like the art style is very unique. I've seen it somewhere. Anyway, it's coming out tomorrow as well. You know, Tuesday game day. And like I said, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC.
I like the art style.
Yeah. It's very cool.
Some of those
There she
characters
is.
look.
Where did I see this trailer? It must have been State of Play. I don't know where else I would have sat and watched this whole trailer. All right. Anyway, this is coming out tomorrow if it looks interesting to you. Season, A Letter to the Future.
Yes.
All right. And then next up, go ahead and introduce our next one.
Next we have SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake, coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC tomorrow. So coming to last gen consoles and PC, and looks pretty cool. I'm guessing it's gonna be a platformer from the looks of it.
Yeah, so I think I was a little bit too old for this, but apparently there was a really popular SpongeBob game that a lot of kids grew up with. When I say grew up with, I mean like PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, you know? And then there hasn't been one in a long time. So a lot of people are getting nostalgic over this one. A lot of the younger people, maybe in their 20s, early 20s, are getting nostalgic about this.
I could definitely see my kids loving this game.
It looks pretty cool. I mean, a good platformer is always a good platformer.
Yeah. Oh, look at baby Patrick.
Gary. I was into SpongeBob for a long time. I think all the way to like high school.
Yeah.
Before I finally like just stopped watching it.
SpongeBob's amazing.
Yeah. All right. I heard when you're a kid, you relate to SpongeBob, and Squidward is like the grump. And then the older you get, the more you relate to Squidward, and SpongeBob is the annoying kid.
It's true.
Yeah, that's why it lasts.
Squidward is me at work.
Yeah. That's why it stands the test of time, because you start off relating to one character, and then the older you get, the more you relate to the opposite character.
Yeah.
Anyway, this will be out. When is it? The 31st?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow as well.
A lot of these games are tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Then after that, Wednesday, nothing comes out Wednesday. And then Thursday, we got another simulator. We got Restaurant Simulator.
What?
Michelin. Why does Michelin, the tire company, give out
exactly.
restaurant? But they always say like Michelin 5-star restaurant, blah, blah. Apparently they give out like ratings or awards to restaurants.
I always thought the Michelin Man looked like a pile of marshmallows.
Is it the Michelin Man that shows up at the end of Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Or is that some other fictional character?
That's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're all the same. Marshmallow, State Puff, Michelin. Yeah. That's because he's white and tires are black.
I know, it's so weird. Maybe it has something to do with white walls.
Maybe the classic ones.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, those were still kind of black.
We haven't said one thing about this game.
Oh man.
There you go. If you ever dreamed of owning your own restaurant, here we go. Restaurant Simulator.
This is basically, what's that game called?
Oh, the kitchen game?
Yeah.
Where you're like cooking stuff.
Yeah, with the little cartoony characters.
Yeah. I guess this is like a more realistic version of that. You're using real ingredients and I don't know, maybe
Overcooked.
Overcooked.
Yeah,
right.
This is Overcooked, but more realistic.
Yeah. I wonder if you learn any real recipes and ingredients from this game.
Probably.
I should play this.
Overcooked taught me a lot about how to make burgers.
Really?
Take the bread and get the burger meat and the lettuce. You put them together, you got a burger.
Okay. You had to play that game to find that out? All right, Chef Life, that's coming out Thursday. All right, another game coming out Thursday is... Go ahead, that's you.
Oh, yeah, I got the next one. The next game is Deliver Us Mars. Coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on February 2nd.
Was there a game? Remember there was this game where you go to the moon?
Moonanites?
Was it called Deliver Us the Moon or something like that?
It might have been.
It's just like a series? Deliver Us
Laura,
Mars?
what is that, Laura Croft? Got the pickaxe from Tomb Raider.
Anyway, yeah, this comes out. When did you say? Did you already announce?
The 2nd of February.
And for what consoles?
Coming to everything.
Yep. Previous gen,
Literally.
current gen, everything but the Switch.
Except the Switch. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Everything but the Switch.
So that means current gen, last gen, PC.
Amazing.
Oh, there she goes. Yeah, she's on her Tomb Raider stuff. All right, that's Deliver Us Mars. Now the next game we have is Life is Strange, which is making its way. Oh, Life is Strange 2, which is making its way to the Switch. Also, on Thursday, lots of games coming out Thursday. Matter of fact, the rest of the games on this list come out Thursday.
Force powers. It's copyright to Stranger Things.
Have you played this game, Life is Strange?
I have not. I thought about doing a Life is Strange True Colors because it was on clearance at GameStop, but then I was like, I don't. But I don't think the stories are connected.
They're not?
Nah, because it's kind of like Final Fantasy, where they all share the same title minus the number.
Okay.
But they're independent stories.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't really know that. If anybody's played Life is Strange, let us know in the comments.
I've heard good things.
Is it interconnected? Or is it, independent stories just based with the same name in the universe?
I played a little bit of the first one, and it was a girl you're playing as, and I don't see a girl here. So it's,
yeah, and then the third one you're playing as a girl too.
On the third one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that's called True Colors.
Oh, True Colors. Okay. Maybe that is a continuation of the first one.
Nah, it's a different character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But each Life is Strange, it seems like the characters all have like some kind of power. Like as you can see, like this kid has like telekinesis. Mm-hmm. The third game, the girl character has she's like an empath. She can like feel people's feelings and stuff like that, and can tell.
I think in the first one she
there.
could like hear people's thoughts or something.
Probably.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is available. Introduce the next one.
Oh, I Am Him says he's played Life is Strange. He said it's different.
It's different.
So it's not the same interconnected story.
Okay.
Thank you, I Am Him, with your catalog of games.
Just ask him. He's played it.
So the next game is Tales: The Backbone Preludes, which is PC exclusive. Coming February 2nd as well.
And it looks like, once again, one of those Super Nintendo style games.
Looks like a point-and-click adventure.
Yeah, maybe like an old PC. I always call this graphic style Super Nintendo, but it's a bit more advanced than Super Nintendo.
We call these point-to-click adventures, where you take the mouse and you click and the character moves.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what do you call the graphic style?
Cell shaded.
No, not pixel art. Just pixel art.
That's what I would call it.
Okay. 16-bit. It's more than 16.
Yeah, it's too smooth.
Yeah. Anyway, it's going for that look.
Clarissa.
That'll be out Thursday. The last game coming out.
Is
The Pathless. This is coming out.
This is PlayStation sharing with everybody else.
Oh, this was a PlayStation game?
Yep. This was actually one of the launch titles for the PS5. Believe it or not.
I remember that. Yeah. Yep, I remember this.
It's on the State of Play with all the PS5 launch titles.
Okay, so this is making its way now to the Xbox Series X and S, the Xbox One, and the Switch. And yeah, I'll get this for the Switch then. I like that these games are finally coming to the Switch because these are the type of games I feel like are a good fit for the Switch for me because of the fact that I have both. I have the PS5. There's certain experiences I would rather have on the PS5. Experiences like this, I wouldn't mind having it on the Switch. I don't feel like I'm missing out on much.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's why Sony probably did what they did. They don't feel like they're missing out sharing this game with everybody.
Yeah. Also, Life is Strange. That's another good one.
Yeah.
Because I think when a big part of the game is the graphics, then I would want to play it on the PS5.
That makes sense.
Like if they came out with like the Dead Space remastered edition for the Switch,
Yeah.
like I wouldn't want to play it
Me either.
on on the Switch, you know.
Me either.
So, but these games are great, or perfect for that. All right, that's it. Those are the games for the week. Now, let's get into our topics of the week.
Yay!
First topic. Oh, scroll up. Spoiler alert. Naughty Dog says they're done with Uncharted and they are moving on.
Oh boy.
Does this come as a surprise to you?
No.
They've been saying this since before Uncharted 4 came out.
Yeah.
Because when they were, it's called The Thief's End. So they were very intentional with that title. They're like, this is the end. This is where the journey ends. And throughout the promotional interviews for Uncharted 4, he kept saying, this is Nathan Drake's final journey. And I thought he was hinting at the fact that Nathan Drake was going to die. So I was like, oh man, he's going to die in this game. Because he kept saying final. This is the last. This is our last adventure. This is, and he made, like he emphasized that point. Almost in every interview, he kept talking about how this is going to be the last chapter.
I think the marketing was kind of like steering in that direction too. Like
to make you think he dies. Yeah. The tone of the trailers and everything. But for sure, whether he died or not, for sure it was clear that they were done with the series and this was supposed to wrap it up. And I think they did a good job wrapping it up. They gave a closure to Drake's story. They did kind of, you could say they left it open-ended by introducing his daughter.
Also because of that spinoff. With
Sam Drake and stuff. But Nathan Drake is Uncharted. I
I
thought about his daughter like leading a game, or like Chloe or Sam and Sully or something, but no, we need Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake's what makes an Uncharted game.
Wait, what was the spinoff called? Lost Legacy or Lost Odyssey?
Yeah, Lost Legacy.
Yeah. When they did Lost Legacy, I think that's what probably might have confused people because of how Lost Legacy ended, where it was like,
with Sam Drake,
Chloe and Nadine and Sam, and they were kind of like, they were kind of trying to make it seem like they were going to be the new trio going forward. Yeah, that's how the game left off, as far as what I remembered it.
I could see maybe playing a game with Sam Drake.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like they, after that game was done, it wasn't like they were like, yeah, this is going to be the new, Uncharted series people going forward.
Right.
The game ended like that, but yeah. Well, a lot of people, but when you have a popular franchise, there's going to be, tons of fans that's all they want to play and they want the next thing from that.
Right.
But they hinted at, Neil Druckmann basically said, like, we don't want to do something unless we have a compelling story to tell.
Right. He said that's always where they start.
Yeah.
They start with, is there a story that's worth telling here?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, then they don't make another one. And that's how they started. He mentions that's how they started with The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
When they were done with The Last of Us, they said, is there anything compelling? Is there any more compelling stories that we could tell? If the answer was yes, then they made 2. Now they're working on Part 3. So that means there was something they felt like the story that they could tell. And so now they're writing a Part 3. Not could we make money, or how well did the last one sell, or how well do you think the next one is going to sell? It's just, is there a story here? If there is, let's write it. If there's not, then move on to a new IP.
Yeah, and there's a lot of speculation with The Last of Us Part 3 going on because of the comments on them moving on from Uncharted as well. So a lot of people on Twitter were saying, like, somebody found something somewhere where Naughty Dog was kind of hinting at the fact that, okay, yeah, we said we were writing Last of Us Part 3, but we didn't say we were actually going to be doing Part 3. So it's making it seem like they may not have a compelling story for Part 3 yet, even though they've already wrote something. But I know we know that as far as their next biggest push is going to be the multiplayer. So whatever it is with whatever they're doing after that is going to be way down the line anyway. Yeah. As far as if we even hear anything from Neil Druckmann or Naughty Dog.
I see The Last of Us being a trilogy at this point, because they did leave. There was like a lot of like open-ended stuff in the second game. The way the second game ended, a lot of characters that could have some closure.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I mean, with Abby, with Lev, with Ellie, with Dina, with Sarah. What was Tommy's wife's name?
Dang.
I thought it was Sarah.
She wasn't that memorable. I don't remember.
Anyway, all those characters can can use some closure.
Yeah.
And figure out what happened with them. So scroll down a little bit, and we'll see the exact quote here. In an interview with BuzzFeed, I mean, you could have talked to Neil Druckmann if you were still there. But then if you're still there, we may not have met. So it's better you talk to me. Druckmann.
Inside joke.
Yeah. Oh, my wife used to work. My wife used to work at BuzzFeed. I don't know if you knew that. She used to work at BuzzFeed.
I knew that.
Okay.
I was just saying the audience. I don't know.
Audience doesn't know that. Yeah. Ex BuzzFeed employee over here. I recruited her. Now she works at Console Babble. Answering a query about The Last of Us 3 brought up Uncharted. Go ahead. Let's go down. He went on to confirm that Naughty Dog has been able to put, this is the quote, able to put its final brushstroke on that story and say it's done, it's moving on. For us, Uncharted was insanely successful. Uncharted 4 was one of our best-selling games, and we're able to put our final brushstrokes on that story and say we're done, we're moving on. So basically saying like just because it was successful doesn't mean they're going to try to write another one.
Yeah.
You know, it was insanely successful. It was great. They enjoyed it, but they're done with that story.
And they going on record to say that Sony, supports them in those decisions. They're not like telling Naughty Dog like, no, you're gonna make another Uncharted.
Right. No, they're not. But they are saying, no, don't worry about it. Oh, you guys are done? Okay, well, let me take that, and we'll just give Uncharted to some other studio. You guys are done with it, right? You guys all okay? You don't want any more?
I can see that happening.
All right, here you go, Guerrilla Games.
Yeah.
You guys make
or Blue Point.
Yeah, Blue Point. Yeah, Blue Point. You guys have experience making Uncharted games. Well,
Ben Studio.
We remastered a few. Same thing. Here
because Ben Studio actually did Golden Abyss which is the same studio that did Days Gone. For those of you that don't know.
Yeah, and it did.
And Siphon Filter.
Did well, and then they were like, wow, you guys did really good. You're not getting a second game.
Yeah, that's so messed up. But we will make a TV show out of it.
But do you guys want to make Uncharted 5?
Yeah.
No, we want to make Days Gone 2. No, make Uncharted 5.
Terrible.
Anyway, I kind of hope they just leave that series alone. As far as Naughty Dog is concerned, I'm glad that they're either both focusing on The Last of Us 3 and an original IP. I think games get stuck on sequel mode.
Well, Last of Us multiplayer.
The Last of Us multiplayer. Yeah. And they have a brand new IP that's supposed to be like a science fiction. I mean, look at what happened to like Ubisoft. Like recently, Ubisoft sizing, the sales are down, and Ubisoft is nothing but sequels. If the Assassin's Creeds were numbered and not like now they call it like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Origins. But if they were still numbering it, like what number would we be on right now?
Oh, yeah.
We'd be at least in the 20s, right?
Something crazy.
Yeah,
I know they just milked the crap out of that game.
Far Cry.
It was amazing when it first came out, and I would say up to the point of maybe like Black Flag.
Mm-hmm. I think by the time Black Flag came out, people were getting fatigued.
Yeah,
they were getting franchise fatigue already.
Oh, I Am Him said 17, and he would know because he's playing the crap out of Valhalla right now.
Wait, how did you get that number so fast?
I don't know. He's probably played every single one of them.
Yeah, 17. Okay, I'm surprised. I thought it would have been in the 20s, and I thought that was underestimated. I thought maybe it would even be in the 30s. I mean, are you? I Am Him. Are you counting like Vita games and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, the little spin-offs like Assassin's Creed China or something.
Right, China or like Liberation, and because then there's a few more if you count those. But anyway, there's been a lot. 17. Dang. What else has 17? Grand Theft Auto got 5 because they got stuck on 5 for a while.
They got more than 5.
He said if you count China and that, then yeah, 20 and up. Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead on to our next story. No more Uncharted, at least not from Naughty Dog. That's the conclusion here. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, some sad news. This is a tweet from Neil Druckmann, who is the director of, I'm sure you guys noticed by now, he's the director of The Last of Us. And for the show and the game, the show that's out now and the game. He said, just found out my dear friend Annie Wershing passed away. We just lost a beautiful artist and human being. My heart is shattered. Thoughts are with her loved ones. And then he linked GoFundMe for her family. For those of you who don't know, Annie Wershing, the reason Neil Druckmann is tweeting about this, she was the voice for Tess in the game. I mean, I know you want to go check. Go ahead, go check. We'll talk about this.
On the wide angle, so you guys can.
Okay.
Do you want to be full wide or on the tab?
Wide angle's good.
Yeah, wide angle and then leave the tab up. That's fine. Matter of fact, I might go behind the curtain for a little bit. I'm just gonna put on a video.
The man behind the curtain.
It's just so people don't get bored. Let me put something on. Explain to them who she is and the person she voiced in what game.
I don't know who she is, guys, but I can tell you what she's done and what you might know her for, and that is if you've played The Last of Us Part 1, Annie was the voice and the mocap for Tess, who is the female companion of Joel in the beginning of The Last of Us Part 1. And yeah, Tess, the voiceover is she's R.I.P. I believe she ended up being taken by cancer, if I'm correct. I remember seeing the voice of Kratos, Christopher Judge on Twitter, actually commented on it as well and said basically F cancer. So I think I don't know what type of cancer she had, but it took her out.
So when I first heard about the show, you know, everyone was doing like their fan casting of like who they want to play certain roles. There were certain voice actors that looked like they all gave great performances in the game. So to me, it made sense. They know the characters. They've already proven they could play the role very well. So then they should just play it. And she looks a lot like Tess, especially with this new remaster. I feel like she looks even more like her. Maybe she looks a little bit younger. I don't know how old that picture is that they're using, that Neil used on the Twitter. But I really wanted her to play Tess. And it made sense. It was like common sense to me. Like, she's definitely going to play Tess. She played her already. She looks like her. She sounds like her, obviously, because she's her voice actress.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like really disappointed when I saw they went with somebody else. I mean, I like the actress who played her. She did a good job. But I really wanted to see, you know, her play Tess. But maybe, well, two things. Maybe she didn't audition because you know, it makes sense for somebody to play that role. They still have to audition for it. So maybe she didn't audition, but also maybe she been battling cancer.
Yeah.
And
that's probably why.
Maybe she was too sick to play the role.
The voice of Marlene is actually in the show. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
I thought I was like, man, she really sounds like Marlene from the game. And then when they were showing like the introduction of her character and they were like behind the scenes, she was talking about how, they I auditioned for it and I ended up getting it. And I was like, well, it would make sense for you to get it because you're the actual voice of the character. Like,
yeah, I know. How could you not get it?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like thinking about it, I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. That because a lot of the times, a lot of people are always want the game's voice actor to actually play the role in a show if it was to ever come to light.
Right.
And as far as Marlene, that ended up happening, so that was cool for her.
Yeah.
But it is sad that cancer claimed another great voice actor, but she'll always live on through that medium, and she gave a great performance.
Yeah,
so.
we all got to experience her performance again more
Yeah.
recently with this remaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a really good job with that, and it's too bad we didn't get to see her one last time on the live action. I would have loved to have seen her play Tess in the TV show. And this, by the way, that she passed away just
Recently.
yesterday.
Yeah.
This just happened
Very
Sunday.
recent.
So while the third episode was airing, she had
Oh wow.
she had already, I think she had already passed away. So yeah, may God make it easy for her family and her loved ones. And too bad we didn't get to see her play the character in the TV show. But you know who else does the voice
For Tess?
No, for a character that I thought would make a good actor is Bill, the guy who does Bill's voice.
Oh. But he's not in the show, right?
He's not in the show.
Yeah, that was
but
gonna
he
say.
could have played Bill because the guy looks like him. He's another one of those guys who the voice actor looks like.
After he saw how episode 3 was going to be, he probably was like, nah, I'm good, bro.
He probably read it. It's like it's a little too gay for me.
Yeah, it's like, it's a little too much, man. I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Look, I called it. I told her before episode 3 came out when I knew Bill was going to be in it. Mm-hmm. And I said when the game came out in 2013, this was 2013. So they hinted at the fact that he was gay.
Through the letter or whatever that Frank
There was the
leaving.
letter that Frank left. There was the magazine that Ellie finds. Which was
that she was driving in the truck.
it was a nude magazine, but it was all men in there. And then when Joel says, "Where'd you get that?" she said it was at Bill's place. And then the third thing was in the beginning when he hesitates, when he says, "I had someone who I cared about. He was my partner," and he kind of like paused for a minute. He was gonna say, he was my boyfriend or he was my husband or whatever. And then he paused and he says, he was my partner. So there's like those 3 hints. That's it. That's all you get. And if you put it together, you could figure out, oh, this guy was probably in a relationship with Frank.
Yeah. But it was very subtle.
Very subtle. It's not in your face.
Yeah.
And you put it together and you kind of feel proud of yourself when you put it together. Like, wait a minute, Frank was a little more than his partner and stuff. That was 2013. And I told my wife, I was like, watch, it's 2023 now. It's been 10 years. They're going to be a lot more in your face with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, watch, when this episode comes out, we're going to have to watch 2 men making out. And unfortunately, I was right.
I got some questions for you after this is over. About that.
Okay, I liked the beginning of the episode. I even liked the beginning of like Bill. Like
I loved watching him do all the prepper stuff.
Yeah, he was basically like a doomsday prepper. Who ended up being right, like the only guy to ever be right. So the government comes in, blah blah, and then they show how he starts making this town his own, and it was like really cool to see that. And it looked like he was having a good time with it too. And it was a nice little town. And even all the way until he meets like Joel and Tess and everything. Like there was still like the lawns were green.
We got to see Tess.
The electricity
actually clean.
I know, yeah, with her hair nicely done and everything.
I almost
like that.
didn't recognize her. I was like, "Is that Tess?" I was like, "Oh, it is Tess."
Yeah.
That was cool.
So that was all good. I think what they should have done, what I was really hoping they would have done, he's playing the piano, and he's singing this song, and then the guy Frank goes, "So who's the special lady?" And he goes, "There is no special lady." And then he puts his hand on his shoulder and he goes, "I know." That's it. And then cuts to black. We could figure out the rest. We know what happened.
Yeah.
You don't need to show us. We know. And then go back to Joel and Ellie. That's it. That would have been if I had to redirect it, the Saleh cut, the G cut, that's how I would have done it. He would put the hand on the shoulder, said there
They going off in the comments.
He said that episode threw me off. Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, this is not why I played the game."
Yeah, I had to skip. I don't like missing dialogue. I feel like everything they say to each other.
Oh, I had to do the same thing.
You skipped forward?
Because I'm watching it with the kids.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
oh no, I don't want no. As soon as he said go take a shower, I was like, oh no. He not talking about getting clean.
Yeah, he's talking about getting dirty.
Just trying to find the button.
What button?
Probably the DJ air horn or something. I'll do it for you.
Oh, Metallic said he didn't finish the episode. Metallic, you should finish the episode. It ends strong.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you know that happened if you didn't finish it?
He probably just watched a review. And was
At
like,
that point, you're pretty much done by that time. You might as well finish. The hard part was done by the time you find out.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, I'm gonna leave my piece on it.
He said YouTube. I don't blame you, man. I really don't blame you.
I'm gonna leave my piece on it. But basically, how me and G discussed it was, it felt like a wasted episode.
Yeah,
because
it almost felt like a filler episode.
Yeah. There was no interaction. The biggest part of Bill was like the interaction with him and Joel and Ellie, especially between Ellie and Bill. His attitude was completely different. They made him a lot softer, which I understand because of the love story they were going with. But and you didn't really get to see none of the dramatic stuff. There was no action with going through Bill's town and having to, them having to watch out for the traps and the infected running through.
I was like, oh, Joel's gonna get nail bombs.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not important because that's important for gameplay. Like now you have a new tool, and this is part of the gameplay loop. You're gonna put nail bombs now and stuff like that. But
even without the gameplay, there was like very cool stuff that happened in the game that could have translated to the show, like them having to go try to look for the battery throughout Bill's town, and he's like, "Oh no, it's in this house." Yeah. Oh man, I forgot.
And that's where we first meet a bloater.
Yeah,
it was with Bill.
Yeah, but in the show, it's like, oh, at the end, the battery's just sitting in the garage. Oh yeah, here you go. Just got to charge it.
Here's the keys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see. He said it felt forced. Yeah. No, they definitely did. So this is the way I felt. So episode 1, they introduced like all the characters. Yeah. So in episode 1, you meet Joel, you meet Sarah, you meet Tommy, you meet the neighbors, you meet Marlene, you meet Ellie, you meet Tess. So what is that? I'm sure there's some characters I'm missing. That's 7 I was able to name right there. So, and they're trying to introduce who all these characters are. Yeah. So it's not about Joel and Ellie at that point, right? Then on episode 2, it's down to Joel, Tess, and Ellie. But then Joel is just talking to Tess and kind of ignoring Ellie. Yeah. Because she's just cargo, So he's just trying to get her there, and he discusses plans. He makes plans with Tess, and he's like, you stick close. You stay quiet. There's no like bonding, You kind of get a little bit of it when Tess goes and she says, I'll go around and unlock it. And they kind of try to
like forced.
Yeah. They try to connect there because she's gone. He has no choice but to talk to her. So it's like, okay, we need more of that. So when Tess dies in episode 2, then you're like, okay, finally, episode 3. Now it's just Joel and Ellie. There's no other characters. They're finally gonna bond, and we're finally gonna have, the Joel and Ellie adventure on the road. They're going to meet Bill and blah, blah, blah. And then it just, like you said, it's like wasted. It was just a Bill and Frank love story.
I think the episode was like 1 hour and 20 minutes or something.
Was it?
I think that's what it said.
So we started to get it a little bit. Like, I was like, oh, this is good. Like when they were walking, and then he was telling her when she asked, how did the infection start? She's like, did it come from monkeys? And blah, blah. Then he like explains to her how it all started and how it went down. And you could tell she was like really interested to hear from someone who experienced it and someone who was there when it happened. She was like, thanks for sharing that, So that was like really cool to see that dynamic. And then we got Bill and Frank for an hour. And I was like, how long is this flashback going to last? And I was watching it with my friend Ahmed, and I was like, I was like, I hope they do a flashback sequence. I like the flashback sequences.
Yeah.
And then it
They
said
completely
2000.
skipped that.
It said no, it said 2003, and it showed like Bill in 2003.
Yeah.
And then it went on, and I was like, I wish they didn't do a flashback sequence.
Yeah, what I meant by they didn't do that is like usually the last 2 episodes they would show something from the past before the title
Before the title screen.
Yeah, before the intro even started.
Right. So we thought we weren't getting it because
Yeah.
the intro started immediately.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, no flashback this week. And then it said 2003. I'm like, yes, you get a flash, but not knowing that's gonna be the whole whole episode. You know. I'd rather not have the flashback.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our rant about episode 3. Let's go ahead on
Yeah, we got
to our
way
next
off topic.
topic. Yeah.
Way off topic.
We got some news from Fantastic, but it's
these-
not Fantastic
These
news.
trash guys.
You heard my pun?
Yeah. You know, I was trying to be hopeful when we covered this the last time when, G was pointing out the obvious.
Yeah.
But this ain't looking good.
Yeah. So the last time we talked about this game, I mentioned how fishy it is and how unlikely it is that this game will be out March 1st, which is what they were advertising. There was no gameplay shown. We don't know what the game is still. And then sure enough, all of a sudden they're like, oh, it got taken down from Steam.
I don't think we ever said what the game was.
Oh, the day before.
The day before.
Yeah, the day before. Yeah, so the day before, which is a very fishy game. That's a whole long topic. I kind of got into it the last time. I think I went through all the points of why it's a very fishy game or fishy company, the Fantastic. Yeah, so it's getting close to March now. It's almost February, so they got 1 month before release. They probably realized this game ain't coming out either. So this story doesn't sound super believable to me. They say that they're going to have to delay it until when?
8 months.
8
So
months?
November.
November, right. They said in November they're going to release it now.
I can summarize
2023. November 10th. There it is. November 10th,
I can summarize this whole thing.
Basically, the name was taken, and they didn't know until
That's
now.
what they say.
That's what they said. That's what this whole thing says.
Yeah. Basically, the game was on Steam. It was listed on Steam. It was one of I think it was the most highly anticipated game on Steam. It shot up to number 1. But the game was delisted from Steam. Like everything was taken down, and everybody was wondering, hey, what's going on? The game's supposed to be coming out in March, they said, and the game suddenly just disappeared off of Steam. And they put out a little thing. They're like, hey, there's a little issue going on with trademark, and apparently somebody filed a private claim against us about the name of the game and blah blah blah. And then like not even a couple days later, they're like, oh yeah, that trademark, it's a bunch of stuff going on with it. We're working on it. We're gonna get it straight. But that gameplay.
Yeah, it's like, bro, just release it.
Yeah.
How hard is it to change the name? The day before, a day before.
Yeah.
There you go. Is that taken? Is that available?
But the fishy part of it is how they said, they pretty much were saying like, yeah, the game's pretty much good. The game's done.
Yeah.
So that's why we're going to show you the gameplay, because the game's coming out in March. We're going to show you the gameplay. But because of this trademark thing, then all of a sudden they just went way off the wall and were like, well, we decided to push it back to November because the game needs, we feel like it'll be polished and we can make it the best that it could be if we give it a little more time in the oven.
Right. That's what they're like.
Wait, you just said the game was good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I noticed that too. It says because of the circumstances, decision to postpone November. We understand this may disappoint our fans. However, we want to ensure we release the best game possible. It's like,
what? Because of the name? Because of the trademark?
Yeah, bro. Okay, well, the name of it is not going to affect how good the game is. Bro, call it 2 days before. We don't care. 3 days before, the day before. Just pick a new name. It's not that hard. The hard part is making a good game.
Yeah.
You don't need 8 months to come up with a new name.
Sounds like a bunch of malarkey.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying their story, and I'm not buying the game when it comes out.
Me either. Man, look at
we
that
go.
chin. Anyway.
That's when he got plastic surgery. Remember this movie? Me, myself, and Irene.
I laughed at that movie so
But
much.
his alternate personality got plastic surgery to have the butt chin. And then when his other personality came back, he was like, what the heck? He didn't like it.
Classic movie.
I Am Him said episode was good. After all that, he just says,
You better not be
Episode
talking
was
about
good.
that Last of Us episode.
yeah, I don't know, man. If you into that, I guess.
Well, you know what? I Am Him. There was a good quote that I sent to G earlier from Twitter, and I think it summarizes this very well. It said that if you've played the game, if you've never played the game and you're just a Last of Us show watcher, then the episode was good. Because you don't know nothing about the game.
Even if I never played the game, I wouldn't like that.
Me either.
Ain't got nothing to do with the game. Anyway,
Just if you've ever seen the Boondocks, just think Riley. and
Jamal
you'll know.
said that we should do an episode by episode review. That would be nice, but then we'd have to fit it into the podcast. That would be
Yeah.
another video. We'll see if we can figure that out.
Yeah, we'll try to.
Jamal, if you caught the beginning of the episode, I was talking about a game coming out called Power Wash Simulator, and I was talking about how me and you used to do power washing for free. Child labor.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Don't put your pops out like that.
he's in Sudan now. He's safe.
Oh, wow. The laws can't reach him.
Anyway, you got to go back to the beginning of the episode to catch that. All right, let's go into our next topic. I think this is all you, Javon.
Oh, man.
Will be. So when is this presentation happening? I know a lot of people are excited about this.
That's a good question. I think it's happening right around somewhere lower on the page. No,
I was wondering what was going on too. February 3rd.
I was trying to stall. so
This Friday.
So February 3rd, there's going to be a Taipei Game Show 2023. This is one of those game shows that I just was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that existed. But I'm only interested in it because they're going to be giving an update on Armored Core 6, which is one of my most anticipated games for 2023.
This was originally shown off and announced at the Video Game Awards.
Yes.
And I remember we talked about that. This was one of the
Yes.
most highly viewed trailers at that time. So a lot of people are excited about this.
Yes, and if you know anything about From Software back in the day, as I mentioned when we were talking about the Video Game Awards, this is From Soft's basically second game that they ever made, and it turned into a long-running series. It went dormant for about like 13 years, probably longer than that. And now it's finally coming back after they've had all their recent success with Elden Ring and all the Dark Souls games, Bloodborne, Sekiro, all that. And now they're like, you know what? We've done a lot of the fantasy stuff for a long time, and we kind of want to branch off and do something different again. So they're going to go back to Armored Core and see this presentation, which they're saying is supposed to be 20 minutes long of gameplay.
It's not loading. That's what I.
That's all right. Just zoom out and like, just show the, at least the article.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, just leave right there.
Yeah, so it says here there's been an update for the upcoming Armored Core 6 fans, a 6 Fires of Rubicon presentation that will show at the Taipei Game Show 2023. Whereas previously we reported that the program would be an hour long. The website for BNE updated to state that the presentation will be 20 minutes long instead.
Dang, they shaved a lot off.
Hey, 20 minutes is good enough for me.
Yeah. Hopefully that means there was a lot of fluff and they realized there was a lot of fluff.
Yeah.
They cut it all out.
The time for the presentation has not changed. As a reminder,
All right, Metallic Keem.
the presentation at Taipei. Oh yeah, thanks for joining, guy.
Yeah.
Will be on February 3rd, and you can catch it at 9 p.m. JST. I think that means Japanese Standard Time.
Japanese Standard Time.
Or 7 a.m. Eastern Time.
CET. That's Connecticut.
What? It will stream on both Bandai Namco YouTube and the Taipei Game Show YouTube. I'm gonna have to subscribe to them because I like subscribing to random stuff. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. If anybody's a fan of Armored Core, I don't think any of you guys are, because I don't know if you guys have any, history with old games like that from PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1.
Yeah, that's where it started. I still got my original Armored Core.
Really?
1, yes, and the case and everything.
We'll have to use that as a thumbnail one day.
I love that
Take
game.
a picture of that next to the new one.
Yeah. Show how far it's come.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's about it for that. I
Okay.
don't have too much to say on it other than I'm excited, and you should be too, because why not throw your money at this game? You don't even play it. You've never played it before, but you want to throw money at it. Just do it.
It is this Friday, which means by the time we film on Saturday next week, we can cover whatever they announced, whatever they talked about.
Oh, we definitely will.
Yeah. Stay tuned, everybody.
Coming soon to a YouTube channel near you.
We got more Naughty Dog news, I believe.
Oh man, so much Naughty Dog stuff.
Oh, season 2. Right. Great news, The Last of Us fans. This is from Naughty Dog's Twitter. The Last of Us has been renewed for season 2. And it's not playing. It's the spores. I mean,
it's just the title card.
It says The Last of Us and then it says season 2 underneath it.
It's just the title card.
Yeah. But yeah, this is no surprise. The first one is done very well. I guess it's a little bit of a surprise that it happened so soon, only after 2 episodes, that they're like, all right, good enough. We're happy with what we've seen season 2. They should have waited till episode 3.
Hey, for real. But I mean, even though we've given our opinions on it, there's been a lot of positive feedback for episode 3. Like, people are saying it's the most emotional thing I've seen on television.
It's people just like patting themselves on the back for being progressive.
Yeah,
I think that's all it is. They don't really care what the story is about. Just the fact that there was like 2 gay people in it. They're just like, this is a great story.
Yeah.
Gay people, good story.
It's inclusive.
Yeah.
But yeah. So season 2, I will say I was excited to hear about it, but after watching episode 3, I was like, oh no, how many more changes are gonna happen before this season's over? So I don't know what to really expect with season 2.
My expectations are still high. I liked what they did with episode 3, sidetracked with that story.
Yeah.
It was still in episode 1 and 2, and outside of Bill and Frank's story, it was all well written, and they haven't gotten sidetracked or
well,
gone
Bill
off
and
the
Frank's story was well written. It just wasn't for us.
I guess you could say that. It is a well-written story.
It just hit us different.
Yeah. I'm a Muslim man, all right?
Yeah.
I have standards. But yeah, I'm it's not like I don't want to see the rest of the season. It hasn't changed my opinion about the quality of the show.
Unless you get another episode like that.
Yeah, if they do too many of those.
Like, whoa.
Which is likely to happen with season 2.
And you're gonna clutch the physical game case and be like, oh, this is the only story that matters.
Nobody asked for a show anyway. No, but yeah, we're definitely gonna get a lot more of that on season 2. But we'll see what happens. What do you think? Are they gonna do like half the season Ellie, half the season Abby? Or do you think they're gonna have to rewrite that?
I think they're gonna play off of kind of like how they're doing now, where it's like multiple perspectives in the show. Mm-hmm. I think they're just gonna do it that way.
Oh, so one episode might go from Ellie and then to Abby.
Yeah.
On a single episode.
Yeah, kind of like showing, like in the game, how it's like you play one whole side from Ellie's perspective, and then you play the other whole side as Abby's perspective. Mm-hmm. From a gameplay perspective, that I guess it makes more sense that way. Yeah, because they were trying to go for to show a certain aspect of the story, but in the show, I feel like they would do it differently. Like they would probably show what Ellie's doing and at the same time show what Abby's group is doing.
Yeah, because if you go half a season with Ellie,
Yeah.
let's say a season's 10 episodes long, you go 5 episodes with Ellie.
Yeah, because you could do
And then like halfway through, you just 5 episodes in a row, you don't see Ellie.
Yeah.
It's just Abby.
That would be trash.
Yeah.
But I could see them doing that too. Considering how they just did this episode. I'm not putting anything past Neil Druckmann and all of them.
Yeah. They write what they want to write. And they seem to get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the story's good enough that they get away with these things, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, season 2. I consider it good news. What do you think overall? Good news, bad news?
As far as the season 2 announcement,
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's great news.
All right. In conclusion, thumbs up.
Yeah. Thumbs up. Yeah.
All right. All right. Go ahead. You can talk about this one.
Oh man! So the legendary player let me solo her. If anybody has played Elden Ring, you know who this guy is. He's basically a gentleman that would put down his basically multiplayer summon sign right before one of the arguably one of the most difficult boss fights in the entire game. And he would literally have a comment on there that would say, "Hey, for anybody that needs help defeating this boss, you know, look for my summon sign and summon me, and I will come in there and I will beat the boss for you."
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah, and he would go in there with no armor. He's just wearing briefs and a pot on his head. And he had 2 swords, and he would crush the boss every single time. And like you would just basically stand in the back of the room and just watch him take on the boss by himself. And he would literally, that would be his thing. He would always say, "No, just you stay back. Let me solo her." That was his thing.
Oh, let me solo her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it generated so much comments and stories on Reddit about, "Yo, I ran into this guy named Let Me Solo Her." And he's like, "Dude, he crushed the boss and I didn't have to do anything." And yeah, but apparently he's beaten that boss over 1,000 times.
Dang.
Just on his own and helping so many other players. That Bandai Namco sent him a personal gift to congratulate him on that milestone. So they sent him a custom sword. And there were other things that came in the box too, which I think they have it lower on the page, if I remember correctly.
Hold on. Thank you for giving me this gift and congratulating me.
If you
for
click
being...
on that "see more" on that Twitter thing, there it is.
Wow.
So they sent them a
the
huge
box
box.
is a nice presentation.
Yeah. And if you click on that, the picture, the bottom left one, that one kind of shows more so his, they kind of like drew him on there.
Yeah, for some reason Twitter never works once we go live.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, nothing plays, images don't load.
Well, he got a lot of stuff. That's all I'm gonna say.
He got stuffs.
He got a lot of stuffs.
Congratulations.
They sent him an art book. There was like a little scroll with a tie on it.
Oh, nice.
And then a thank you, congratulations letter that they actually put like one of those melted candle wax stamps on.
Well, you don't want to break the seal now.
And they gave him a cloak.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I would never touch any of that stuff. That stuff would stay in that box.
I know. I wouldn't even want to break the seal for the wax. I'd be like, what does the letter say?
I don't even. Yeah, just send me
what did y'all write?
But I think it's cool how they like actually, you know, the publisher acknowledged his skill in the game. I think it's always cool when a publisher does that.
Yeah.
I actually
when they pay attention to like who's playing their game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got celebrated like that a long time ago.
Oh, for real?
This was like 2013.
Tell us about that.
Oh man, it's amazing. Back when I felt like Sony actually acknowledged me. A shirt. It was back in the PlayStation 3 era.
Okay.
And they sent me a shirt that was in Japanese. Only thing
I think
I
I've
recognized.
seen you wearing that.
Yeah, it was in one of my old photos. And all I recognized was the 3. I didn't recognize none of the kanji on there. I was like, what is this? But I used to have that shirt. They sent me a card. They're like, thanks for being such a loyal PlayStation player or whatever.
Wow.
And I think they sent me like a lanyard. It was like a Sony lanyard and some other stuff. Yeah. So That was the only time I ever just randomly got something from PlayStation, and that
pretty
was
cool.
that was based off of
Like,
the trophies at the time.
oh, nice.
Which now I think they still do that for certain people, but there's like people out there now that have like
That platinum, like every game
over 100 platinum trophies.
I saw a guy that has a game series called like 30 platinum trophies in 1 month.
Wow.
I'm like, that's one a day.
Yeah.
But he picks like these indie games, like the
they,
short games.
They be picking the most easiest
Yeah,
platinum trophies.
But still, a short game is like 8 hours.
Yeah.
You know, so that's still a lot of time.
That's a lot
day.
of investment.
And it's not like you're just blowing through the story. That's 8 hours of like getting through the whole game. You know, like
Yeah, but
platinum.
I know certain people that I like follow on Twitter that like there's this guy named Pio, I think it is. Mm-hmm. This guy is outrageous. He'll go and like play a game that comes out for all the consoles. He'll platinum it on PlayStation.
Oh, and
then
then
he'll go on
again.
Xbox, get all the achievement points on Xbox, and then go on Steam and get all the achievements on Steam. Like, look, I did it on everything. All right, man. I'm a somewhat of a completionist, but not to that. Yeah, that's, man.
This guy got the platinum trophy. Not on every console.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, he is dedicated.
I have him. Are you waving bye? Or is that, what is that?
I don't know what that is, man. It's a pink hand too. What's the pink mean?
Yeah. Imad, by the way, said if they make season 2, they gotta change a lot. So he agrees they're gonna rewrite some stuff.
What is Jamal be like? Put the mocap back on.
I don't know if you heard. It was like a rumor that on The Last of Us 2,
Oh yeah.
that during the sex scene, that Neil Druckmann put on the mocap suit. The one during the sex scene with Abby and what's the other guy's name? Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Neil Druckmann insisted that he be in the mocap suit that day. As Jamal said, when season 3 came, I mean when episode 3.
I'm not gonna lie. Frank kind of looked like Neil Druckmann.
He did, yeah. First he looked like Neil Druckmann, and then I was like, now it looks like Jordan Peterson.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially when he got older.
Yeah, when he got older, I'm like, this is Jordan Peterson now.
Oh, it's so creepy. It's so creepy.
All right, let's go on to our next topic. Oh, I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen this? Go back to the beginning of the beginning of the video.
Oh, I was gonna say the video ain't even start.
Yeah, turn up the volume. Turn it up.
Full Spider-Man 2 teaser.
I don't think so. Go up to the audio. Make sure the audio source is go up to the audio source. Make sure that it's set to whatchamacallit. Yeah, there. Sound. Yeah, main stereo. Yeah. All right, there we go. Let's try that again. Start from the beginning.
Guys, I'm not digging in my butt and pulling a charger out of my back pocket.
All right, look, check this out. Check this out. Have you seen this?
No.
The good people of Manhattan woke up to a gift from their criminals on something
Spider-Man
of
2.
a webbed platter.
Historic scenes unfolding in San Francisco.
The first of her tribe.
So it's a live action. Lower it just a little bit.
Over 2,000.
So it's a live action trailer, and it's basically like Sony News. You see live from PS5,
Wow.
and they're reporting on like all the different games, right? But you see,
Ooh, not the Final Fantasy. Yo.
oh, this is Returnal, right?
Yeah.
And what is this?
Gran Turismo.
These events to an increase in activity on PS5.
That was Destiny 2.
Stray.
It was just a current shapes appearing. Let's go right now.
This was live from PS5, bringing you the extraordinary.
All right. So the thing to point out here, it's basically a trailer for PlayStation more than any specific game. Look at their desk; it looks like a PlayStation 5.
Wow.
Pause right there. Pause right there. Freeze frame that memory. Hold on. Boom. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 coming fall 2023. Wait, it says fall? Ah, okay. See, I was watching the version of this that played in Australia, and it said coming spring. 2023, which means it's coming in like just a few months. But Australia, in a few months, it's going to be spring. Like their spring is our fall. You get what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yeah. So, and that caused a lot of confusion online. That's what I wanted to point out. But I guess we're watching the U.S. version of it now. But the Australian version, where this originally aired, it said coming spring 2023. And it aired in Australia, but of course everyone saw it here. It's online, you know. And they were like, oh my God, it's coming spring, which is a lot sooner than than we thought, you know. Then they're like
trying to ghost us.
Yeah, then they're like, no, spring in Australia, which is they got different seasons at different times. So anyway, this was a pretty cool commercial. I like when the live every once in a while PlayStation does those like live action trailers. Like, remember there was that bar where like all the game characters came and met.
Yeah,
and it was like a live action Kratos characters in one bar just hanging out. I like when they do that every once in a while. Look at Kratos going by with Atreus.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Ifrit and Phoenix fighting.
But this is also, you could say, is the advertising campaign has started now for Spider-Man 2. Because we haven't seen any promotional stuff. So this is the first hint of like a promotion for that game that we've seen since the original trailer got released.
Yeah. I saw a shot of Callisto and Ghost of Tsushima. Interesting.
He says Spider-Man 2, the reason you should buy a PS5.
It's not a bad reason.
Yeah.
It's not a bad reason at all.
The Last of Us 3, the reason you should buy a PlayStation 6.
Maybe.
By the time that one comes out. All right, that was it. That was just a quick little story. All right, well, and we'll wrap up with this. Phil Spencer did an interview with IGN. And now go back down. Keep going. Wait, stop right there. There we go. This question right here. How much pressure was Xbox under to establish positive momentum for 2023 coming off 2022, where there weren't a lot of releases? He says, go ahead. You could be Phil Spencer. I'm IGN.
Well, I think it's a little different internally because we obviously know that we have a developer direct. We know what content we're building. We know already what we're going to be doing in June in our showcase. But our commitment to our fans is that we need to have a steady release of great games that people can play on our platform. And we don't do that. We don't do enough of that in 2022. There's no doubt. And fundamentally, that's on me. I'm the head of the business.
All right, that's it.
Hey,
so it's that last part. just repeat that last sentence right there.
I'm the head of the business.
Go back up. Stop.
I'm the head of the business?
No, and we didn't.
Oh, and we didn't do enough of that in 2022. There's no doubt.
Okay, so yeah, he's talking about the fact that they didn't release any games in 2022.
Yeah,
it's kind of strange. Yeah, for a whole year to like not have any major releases.
Yeah, and their last chance for that was Starfield. So Starfield was the last major release that was supposed to drop for Xbox, and it didn't drop.
And it probably would have been nominated for Game of the Year, even if they dropped it that late. It would have been nominated because so many people were excited about that game.
Yeah.
He said, "You're reading in your suburban voice."
Yeah. That's how I talk at work too.
That's when he's Calvin.
The customers love it. Then when they come into the store, they're confused. You're black? No.
He's not white.
I get that all the time. Oh man, I love it.
Yeah, he's acknowledging it that they didn't release any games in 2022. He's promising, so for the Xbox fans, 2023, he's promising is going to be a lot different. They did do their first developer direct, which is their version of like State of Play or Nintendo Direct,
which I have to say I like the format of how they did that, because it was the developers talking about their games personally. It wasn't like some lady's voice in the background like, oh, next we have blah 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 blah.
I don't like that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the format they went with E3.
Yeah,
E3, the guy would come on stage and say, "I'm really excited to share this game with you guys. we had an idea to make a game about blah blah. Let's show you some gameplay.
Yeah.
And then go through. It's always better when the guy who worked on the game is explaining the game.
Yeah.
And not just
they
like
know more about their game.
right, but also the lady doesn't elaborate like on what is it called again? State of Play.
Yeah.
On State of Play, she's just like up next, a futuristic blah blah.
Yeah.
And then and then you just see like gameplay. There's no one like walking you through it.
Yeah.
And like when something is first being presented, I like for somebody to walk me through it. Like, okay, here's what you're seeing. Here's this character. Here's his deal.
Yeah.
Here's the world that they live in, you know, and then kind of walk you. And then you're like, okay, cool. Now I can watch the trailer with no words.
I think at Sony, as far as like how they do that, because Nintendo was the one that started that format, where it's like just some guy in the background talking, and then they're just like, all right, here's the trailer
works.
for which, and then they do a little switch sound and the trailer plays, and then they just move on to the next game.
Yeah.
And that's how Sony does theirs. And there was a couple of state of plays where the developers of certain games, like when they were talking about Horizon Forbidden West, where actually, yeah, it's like when they do those state of plays that are like focused on a title that's about to launch, like where they did a state of play for God of War Ragnarok just on the game, and then they did one for Horizon just on the game.
Okay.
But when they have it where it's like multiple games, they don't have the developers come out. It's just, oh, here's this game, blah. And
Yeah.
they just
Yeah, it
do that
doesn't
over
doesn't
and
hold
over.
my interest as much.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's good. That Xbox got that right. Maybe this will be the year that Xbox finally comes back,
Yeah, and they already started off with a banger.
which is what?
That Hi-Fi Rush game. Nobody saw that game coming.
Oh, okay.
They just showed it off in the direct.
I thought you were saying High on Life at first.
Oh, no.
I'm
Not
like, that's
that
the one.
No. But everybody saw that game in the direct. Even I was watching. I was like, oh, my God. I want to play my Xbox all of a sudden. And then out of nowhere, they were like, oh, by the way, you can play this on Game Pass tonight. Everybody was like, oh, what? So that was amazing. I think that also is like one of the best strategies for like a game release ever. Like they did the same thing with Apex Legends. Like that game, nobody knew that game was coming out. They just randomly dropped it into the store, and then people were like, what is this? And they just started playing it, and it blew up because they let the game speak for itself. And
Yeah, it's kind of like when an artist drops an album
yeah,
without any promotion. They're like, it's a good album. You'll like it.
yeah.
I don't need to
Doing
tell
a
you
little
about
Salt Bay drop.
it. Yeah. Yeah, that does show a lot of confidence in your product. But yeah, hopefully 2023 will be a much better year for Xbox players. I know 2022 was a rough one for you. We made fun of them a lot on this show, especially when they came out with those hoodies, and you were like, we know why they need the hoodies for a controller.
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
because they're cold and nobody's touching them.
I feel like they were just doing it.
Yeah, they were coming out with refrigerators,
Yeah.
hoodies for the control, everything but games.
I was waiting for like a sneaker and some Snuggies
Yeah.
or something.
So hopefully in 2023 you could unzip those hoodies, take them off your controller, and you could actually use the controller this year.
Poor Uncle Phil.
Phil acknowledged it, and who knows, maybe so long of being dormant, maybe they got a bunch of stuff
I think
that's been cooking.
a lot of it too, like a lot of their focus was just like pulled into that whole Activision buyout thing.
Yeah, that does sound
Like,
exhausting.
all
I
of-
got tired of just talking about it. I
Yeah.
can't imagine like being actually
And
like
it-
showing up to court and fighting for
We
this.
were kind of expecting that would be resolved within 2022 because the purchase news happened in 2021. And we're like, oh yeah, 2022, it's going to be final. And it still isn't
Yeah,
final.
2023. Dang.
Yeah.
FTC, Sony, everybody's objecting. Then
Yeah,
Google jumped
Jim
in.
Ryan is just like coming through with gut punches
Yeah,
every time.
and then Google jumped in on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Google was like, it's not good for the Google Play Store or something. I forgot. I don't know how, but they came in kind of late. But
Google
eventually,
trash. They ain't got no say after Stadia fell.
yeah, they're like, it's their fault that we fell.
They like in the courtroom in the background. Oh, I don't like this. Objection.
It was Google and somebody else. It was like two big companies.
Yeah, I forgot who the other one was.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
yeah.
good luck 2023. That concludes this episode. Hit that outro music. Thank you for joining us. Once again, my name is G.
And I am Javon. I still am.
Yes, always is, was, and will be.
Wow, it's over already. Where were you at? You just commented?
Did you just join or something? All right, original Devin just joined us, so we'll start from the beginning because you missed it. The game's coming out this week. No, you're just gonna have to rewind. See you guys next week. Thanks for joining me.
I love you, bro. I was just joking.
See you next week. Peace.